welcome to the first episode of The Turnover. I'm Simon Lackman.
I'm Ethan Well.
And today we're going to give you a rundown on the NBA playoffs, our hopes for the NBA offseason, a game called If You Were an NBA GM, a NFL mock draft, and redrafting last year's NFL draft. So Ethan, tell us a little about yourself.
I'm from Florida. I'm a big Heat fan. I'm a big Dolphin fan. That's all.
Okay, so I am from Philly, so I'm a Phillies, Eagles, Sixers, and kind of a Flyers fan. Not really, don't really watch hockey. Not from Philly, I like Georgia, Pitt, and Manchester United.
Pick a city.
What? Okay.
Pick a city.
So, NBA playoffs. And tell me, what do you think the best matchup in the playoffs this year will be?
I think if the Warriors win tomorrow, I think it's gonna be Rockets versus Warriors. I think I got Warriors in 6. That's what I think. I think the play-in's gonna be good. I think the Heat, Bulls, and Hawks always go crazy in the play-in, so it's always a good game.
Okay, so yeah, the Warriors will be a good matchup versus the Rockets if they win. I think a really good matchup is going to be LeBron and Luka on the Lakers versus Anthony Edwards and the Timberwolves. You've one of the best players in the league right now in Luka and one of the GOATs in LeBron versus one of the up-and-coming stars in the league in Anthony Edwards, and I think that's going to be a really entertaining matchup. In the East, do you have any matchups that you think are going to be really good?
Definitely Pistons versus Knicks.
Yep.
I think Pistons in either 6 or 7.
Okay.
I just don't like the Knicks. The Pistons are 3-1 against them this year. Knicks suck against good contender teams.
Mm-hmm.
And they're the Knicks. I mean,
yeah.
They just choke.
Yep.
It's New York.
And a matchup for me, I think the next matchup will be good. I think it'll be scrappy. A matchup I think could be good is going to be the Bucks versus the Pacers. I think if Giannis stays up to what he's capable of, I think the Bucks should win that. But Halliburton hasn't had his best year, so we'll see if he can kick it on in the playoffs. But yeah, Ethan, who do you think is gonna win it all? And what's your finals matchup gonna be?
I think the finals is gonna be. Unfortunately, I got Celtics versus the Lakers.
Okay.
In the finals. I hate to say it, but I think I gotta go Boston. Boston smoked the Lakers at TD Garden. I think they run it back. Hopefully the Lakers win, but I think it's gonna be a good finals, and maybe JT chokes and the Lakers win.
Yeah. I think actually I'm just gonna say this real quick. I think the Thunder could be upset very easily. I mean, Shea relies heavily on fouls, and I saw an interview, I forget who it was, saying that they think that the refs are gonna pull back and not call as many fouls for them, and the Thunder are not gonna know what to do. And yeah, but I think
I can see that.
Yeah, I think if Shea keeps going like he is, I think the Thunder or Lakers will make the finals. And like I said, I think Giannis could turn it on here and just go crazy in the playoffs. But he just doesn't have any help. So I'm going to have to go. I'm going to have to probably also, unfortunately, go Celtics. I don't think the Knicks will make it. I think Tom Thibodeau playing them so much is going to catch up to them. So I'm going to go Lakers, Celtics also, but I'm going to go Lakers winning it. I think LeBron and Luka's coming back for revenge after losing to the Celtics last year. And I think Lakers are going to end up winning it.
Simon, I got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
So, obviously, Sixers had a really bad year this year. Terrible year. You said to me, beginning of the season, that the Sixers are going to be a top 3 team in the league. I said no. And I don't know why you're laughing, because This is serious, man. I mean, the best hope is maybe just get a top 3 pick. But what do you think the Sixers should do? What are you hoping for? Um, who do you want to trade? Do you want to trade Embiid?
So yeah, like it was kind of already announced that Nick Nurse and Daryl Morey will be staying with the Sixers for next season, but like we Sixers right now have a 10% chance of getting a top 5 pick. I want to say, and if we drop back and don't get a top 6 pick, so we don't keep our pick, so we need a top 6 pick. I'm hoping we can get a wing that can replace Paul George in a couple years, if not next year. Like
Maybe
you,
Ace Bailey?
yeah, like if he's there, yeah, but he's gonna be a top 3 pick. I think if Ace Bailey's not there, we're gonna take one of either VJ Edgecombe or Trey Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Um, a lot of people I think I've seen saying Derek Queen maybe the Sixers, but I don't love Derek Queen. I don't know if he's gonna really translate to the NBA, but I do hope we trade Paul George. Just didn't have a great year, but unfortunately, I don't think we can really trade him. I think there was not an official clause, but like a thing that we wouldn't get rid of him in the first year. So I think we're stuck with him for probably at least one more year. I don't want to say get rid of Embiid because I think if we can get a semi-healthy Embiid with a really good squad around him, that we can probably make a deep playoff run next season.
I mean, I think Paul George could be a really good six man,
Mm-hmm.
and he could maybe be a six man and be potentially a top candidate of winning the six man award. And
Yeah.
I don't know, they could be dangerous. They
Yeah, I
really
mean,
could.
yeah, he could be a good six man, but you don't pay a six man the amount of money he's getting
That's
paid.
true.
So you
That is
can't
true.
you can't really bench him just based off of his contract. And
But
the
maybe he doesn't fit as a starter as you saw during the season.
yeah, but and also off of his contract, no one's gonna really want a old Paul George getting paid that much money. Like kind of like the Jimmy Butler situation. Old, but Jimmy Butler still is efficient, and he got the new contract. Unlike Paul George, who's not efficient. I know you don't like Jimmy Butler anymore. Paul George isn't efficient. I mean,
Paul Dell, where's Paul Dell?
all right. So Ethan, what do you hope the Heat do this year in the offseason?
I hope they lose in the play-in. I hope we get the 10th pick, maybe even higher. Um, I'm hoping Jeremiah Fears. I think we need a point guard. I don't think we need really anything else besides a point guard. Um, and maybe get a superstar. I mean, we said this every single year about potentially getting a superstar, and it's just never really happened in our favor. But I think this year could be a potential of maybe getting a KD. Uh, Possibly if Ja were to ask out, we could possibly try to get Ja. I don't know why you're laughing, but if Zion, I think Zion would be a perfect fit with the Heat.
Woody?
I think we could
I mean,
like.
the Heat whole thing is Heat culture. Does Zion really fit that culture for you?
I think Spo can maybe make him into a healthy big, and be dominant.
Yeah,
Like maybe they can move into where he was on Duke, small forward,
maybe.
and that's when he hit his prime.
So what would your perfect like in a perfect world? What would your lineup be? Keep it realistic for starting the next season for the Heat.
Um, Hoping Jeremiah Fears,
Okay, Tyler
Tyler
Hero. Yeah,
Hero, um, Zion or honestly KD, but I'm fine with Wiggs at the three.
yeah. But then
Um,
if you got one of them, you would have to suffer and lose somebody. So who would you be trading to get one of them?
Probably I hate to say it, but probably Jovic,
Yep.
probably Hawkes,
Yeah,
but
probably
also
a pick also.
we have two firsts this year. The Warriors pick.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, I'm fine with trading that first. I mean, we don't really need that first. We kind of need the Heat pick more than the
Yeah.
Warriors pick. So, and the power forward, obviously Bam, and then I think Ware's going to develop to a really top big
Mm-hmm.
league.
Yeah.
It's fine.
So what was I gonna say? Oh, I saw a interview with one of the Morris twins today. I forget who. That was saying if the Bucks lose in the first round, maybe Giannis asked for a trade, and he was saying that if he was Giannis and he was in Giannis's shoes, his number one spot to go to would be the Heat. Get out of the North, go to like a warm city. But I don't know. I just then what are you doing with Bam? Then you've Khalil
Yeah,
Ware. I just
yeah.
think it wouldn't be good. You have too many
I
bigs,
think
kind of.
I think the the Nets are a perfect fit for Giannis. Maybe the Rockets. Put Sengun at center and slide Giannis to the power forward. Then have Amen, Green, and maybe they have a top 10 pick this year. They could probably even get Jeremiah Fears. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think Houston's. I gotta say this. I know you hate them, but I'm a big believer in the Jazz. Big believer. I think they could honestly be the new Houston Rockets next year.
Yeah, I don't know if they have that much potential. I don't know if who's the really star player. Say they miss out on Cooper Flag.
Sexton.
Really, come on.
Sexton.
Should I?
Sexton averaged probably. I think Sexton averaged 17,
But
like
it's not
four
that.
rebounds.
We have to look at his look at his efficiency. I mean, think about
I
how
mean,
many.
Markkanen's good. Markkanen's good. You got Kessler,
Markkanen's good,
Filipowski.
but
They could.
they don't have a Sengun or a Jalen Green type player that the Rockets had. They've couple really good pieces. They don't have a star. Neither do the Jazz.
They can get Cooper Flag.
They could, but they're not going to. Speaking of NBA draft, we're gonna play a little game now called "Would You Be a Good NBA GM?" I'm gonna drop you in a random year, and you're gonna be a GM of any team of my choosing, and you're gonna have their pick, and you're gonna have a set of goals, and I will read you some stats and facts about player A, player B, player C, player D, and another player. And you're gonna then pick based off of what I've told you who you would take at that pick. And then at the end I will reveal to you who that player was and how good you did. Or if you did awful. Okay?
Alright.
So our first one, we're gonna drop you as your favorite team, the Miami Heat, in 2015. You have the 10th pick. Your job is to select the next star of the Heat, but you would be fine if you get an average starter, like a good piece on, or a good like bench piece, a good six man. Keep in mind, you still have Dwayne Wade at this time. You still have Chris Bosh, but they're on the back ends of their career. And
hold on, let me ask you this: is this going into 2016 or is this going?
This is the 2015 draft.
Okay.
So you still have Bosh and Wade, but they're declining and they're on the back.
This would have been Bosh's last year, same as Wade's as the Heat. So.
So player one, he's 6'10" and 242 pounds. Some of his positives: he's a good finisher. He has a strong and good frame, decent upside. He went to a good college development program. He's a good basketball IQ. He's only 19 and he plays very physical.
Okay.
Some of his negatives though: he couldn't shoot the ball at all in college. Okay. He's slow and not explosive. He struggles to defend top players, and he's not great at protecting the rim and blocking many shots.
Okay.
So some good stuff, some bad stuff there. Player 2 is 6'6" and 220 pounds. Do you want to start the positives or negatives on this player?
Positives.
Positives, okay. Great athlete, and they have great upside. They're a good shooter, good perimeter defender, only 19, smart, and they have a good personality. They're like well behaved. They're versatile, could play guard or forward in the future, and had a high profile in college. Some negatives: they have a low floor. They occasionally lose focus and check out of the games mentally. They have questionable shot mechanics. Why are you looking at me like that?
Just go.
Low floor. I'm gonna restart. Some negatives are they have a low floor, occasionally lose focus and check out of the game mentally. They have questionable shot mechanics, need to develop in the right space, and sometimes they can be inconsistent. Okay? Here's
Yeah.
player 3. 6'6" and 205 pounds. Player 3, he's a great shooter, has a high basketball IQ, pretty mechanics, he's a crafty playmaker, good and high upside. He's went to a good school that develops good players and still is very young.
Alright, what's negatives?
Negatives: low floor, below average finisher, but does have room for improvement. They had a smaller role in college and not as athletic as other options. They're also not a great rebounder for being 6'6" and needed others to create shots for them in college.
Let me ask you who the players are, because I can already guess all three.
Okay, you could. I'm not gonna tell you. I'll tell you at the end.
Is the third one Devin Booker?
I don't know.
Is the second one Justin Winslow?
I don't know.
I got it spot on. Spot on.
I don't know. I don't have it up, so I couldn't tell you.
I think that for sure the last one's Devin Booker.
All right. Player 4. They're 6'11" and 240 pounds. Some positives: they're a good shooter for his size. Average 3 blocks a night in college. They're only 19. Can play center and power forward. They have a high floor and they're a good interior defender. Some negatives though: athletic, but he doesn't use his athleticism very well. He's a risk to be injured, particularly his legs. A lot worse. He doesn't. What's that?
I know who this one got. I know who this is.
Who?
It's Embiid. It's Embiid.
Let's see.
Embiid.
He's a lot worse against good teams, and he doesn't have star upside.
That's literally Embiid.
Is it?
It is. It's Embiid. It's Embiid.
So, okay.
It's Embiid.
Player 5. Great upside. Good. They're 6'5", 200 pounds. They have great upside. They're a good shooter. Can create his own shots. Great pre-draft workouts. Strong. One of the youngest players in the draft. And flashes a number 1 option play.
This is the last person?
Yeah. Smaller basketball school, lowest floor of prospects, bad defense, can't rebound his own shots, some injury risk, and slight reach at 10. Okay, so it's a slight reach at your pick. So who do you want?
Okay.
Do you want me? Who are you taking?
I'm taking 3.
3. I'll read you all of them.
Yeah.
Player 1.
No, I already know who it is.
Who's player 1?
I know who it is.
Who's player 1?
I thought it was Embiid, actually. It could be Giannis.
Okay. Player 1 is Giannis, you think?
I think it's Giannis.
And you're still sticking with player 3?
Actually, I'm changing it. I think it's Joel Okafor.
So who are you taking?
Or was he before that?
What player are you taking?
I'm taking the third one.
All right. Player 1 is Trey Lyles.
Okay.
Player 3, Justice Winslow.
Oh,
Player 4, Miles Turner. And player 5 is Rashad Vaughn. Player 3 is Devin Booker.
I was right.
We're gonna
That's elite ball knowledge.
I'm gonna pick 3, Ethan. You're the GM of the Wizards in the year 2019. You have the 9th overall pick. Your job is to draft another young player to complement both John Wall and Bradley Beal. However, you won't know this yet, but Wall will miss the upcoming season with a torn Achilles, which leaves concerns about his future in Washington. But you don't know this at the time. Okay? And keep in mind, this is 2019.
Yeah.
Alright, you ready?
Yeah.
Player 1, 6'6", 210 pounds. They're a tall two-way guard. They've tall two-way guard potential. They're a freshman, have a 7-foot wingspan, can draw a lot of fouls, can guard smaller guards and taller forwards. Above average passer, good rebounder for his role, solid shooter off the dribble.
Wait, how tall?
6'6". Who do you think it is?
Is that Tyler?
Negatives: slacks off at times. Doesn't have the real mentality of a star. However, only shot 27% from three last year. He will need to develop in the right system. He sometimes shoots very questionable shots. Can
Oh, okay.
can lose a lot of careless turnovers and not
Yep.
really a go-to playmaker.
Yep. Yeah.
Player two. So you just want to lock in player A? I'll read you the rest.
Yes. There's no one else good in the back.
I'll read you the rest.
All right.
Player two is 6'8", 205. They're a very developed senior. They built to win now. They're a tall forward who can play shooting guard, small forward, and power forward. They can shoot the lights out of the gym. They went to a school that's known for developing good players. They had the best defensive season in their senior year, and can play well as a starter or a role player. Some negatives: high floor, but probably the lowest ceiling out of all of them, out of all five of these players.
Okay.
Would be a reach due to his age. Only an average athlete struggles to protect the rim despite his size. Not a great playmaker, didn't really create his own shots, and not a number one option. Three more players. Player
I
three.
already know who the first guy is. I'm locking it in.
I'm gonna read you the last three anyway.
Boy Hero.
I'm gonna read you the last three anyway. Okay.
Hold on, let me just give me a second. Hold on, just stay.
Okay.
Don't end this. You ready?
Okay. Sit down.
Tyler Hero.
Sit down. I'm cutting this out. All right, sit down. You can keep the jersey on since you already know which one he is.
Bro, I have insane knowledge.
Player 3 is 6'8" and weighs 230 pounds. They shot 41% from the three last year. 3-year developed junior, should be ready for the NBA. Shot 60% from the field last year. I think I just said that. Fell down the board to number 9, however. High basketball IQ, very athletic, and a good finisher. Negatives, though: they have a high floor but lower ceiling than others. Can't really create for himself as of now. He will need to develop better handles and a better passing ability. Not great at developing or at adapting when play breaks down. Needs to improve his rebounding and only shot 22% from the field, from three, in his first two college seasons. Okay, player 4, 6'6", 195 pounds. Player 4, 6'6", shades of playing point guard, shooting guard, or small forward in the future. They're offensive-minded guard, good three-point shooter. Good. They went to college at a good development. Freshman has grown a lot on the defensive side and a good rebounder for his size. Negatives: he doesn't have the body of an NBA player. He's a small wingspan and doesn't have a lot of body fat. He can be a streaky shooter, so he's like, you know what I mean, streaky shooter. You get what I'm saying?
Go on, bro.
Go
on.
Okay.
Go on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not the fastest, medium forward, but also not the highest ceiling, and not the greatest finisher. It could be a reach at pick 9. And then the fifth and final player, 6'8", 230. Really intriguing international prospect. 19, high upside, two-way combo forward, good finisher, great rebounder, can guard smaller guards and tall forwards, high defensive upside. Negatives: low floor, still growing and learning how to control his big body. Lacks fundamentals, low basketball IQ, turnover prone, could be limited to just a power forward in the future. Not really an offensive threat, and showed promise, but as of now, he is an awful shooter.
Is that Daniel Navia?
I don't know.
All right, tell me who the players are. I got who my number 1 is.
Who are you taking?
Hero.
Which player? 1? Lock in number 1. All right. Which number do you want me to start with? 2, 3, 4, 5. No, 1's last. 5. Number 5 is Sequoia Doumbouya. Do you want? All right, 2, 3, or 4? Which one?
2.
2 is Cam Johnson.
Okay.
3 or 4? We'll go 3.
Three.
3 was Rui Hachimura. 4 was Tyler Hero. 1 was Romeo Langford. You got a D grade. Mr. Ball Knowledge got a D grade.
Bro, I didn't say no.
Since we're on the topic of drafts, Ethan, I think we should do a mock draft of who we think will be the top 10 picks in the NFL draft this year. Pick number 1. I think we talked about this yesterday, kind of, but I think it's kind of like, I wouldn't say obvious, but they definitely need a quarterback, the Titans. So they haven't really had a franchise QB in years, and I don't think they're going to risk passing up this opportunity on Cam Ward. So I think they're going to go Cam Ward.
Totally agree. I mean, I think it's Cam Ward.
All right, so who do you think will be the second overall pick?
It's the Browns, right? Yeah.
Browns, yeah.
I think it's Abdul Carter.
Abdul Carter out of Penn State.
Yeah, I think they're gonna pair him with Myles Garrett.
Yeah, that's gonna be a scary duo for the future.
He's scary. He's very scary.
Okay, so that leaves us with Giants. Giants have a lot of needs, to be honest.
Yeah. A lot.
I think they're gonna probably go Travis Hunter. Right? Hunter.
Yeah.
Now, the interesting part about that will be, will we play wide receiver or cornerback for them? Because they really...
I think he's going to play both. I think the Giants are going to... I think he's going to be like, I'm not playing for... I think he's going to play for two positions.
Do you?
I do.
I
think it...
I think it's risky. I think maybe his first year...
Could go to Jacksonville and say, I want to play both, and I feel like Jacksonville would be the type of team that would give Travis Hunter.
Sure.
Both positions.
But Jacksonville doesn't have the pick.
They have the 5th.
They have the 5th
And they
pick.
can maybe trade.
I mean, sure. Okay. So, all right. So you're
Let's
up
just
here.
say Travis Hunter. Let's just say Travis Hunter.
You're up here with pick 4 Patriots. Do you want me to give you some of their needs, kind of?
They could get then you get the guy from Arizona, the wide receiver.
Tetra.
Yeah.
T-Mac? You think they're going to go T-Mac?
I think they're going to pair a young wide receiver with Drake May. Yes, they got Diggs in the offseason, but Diggs could be a really good wide receiver too. I mean, I don't think the Patriots do need O-line, but I think they could get an O-line maybe in the second round.
Yeah.
They did a lot of signings in the offseason.
Milton Williams.
And I think Tetra kind of fits the A.J. Brown role, and he's like, they're kind of like similar players. I mean,
similar build. They have a similar build.
Exactly. And
But
you know who coached A.J. Brown and the Titans?
I know. Okay.
Exactly.
I wouldn't really compare a rookie to A.J. Brown yet, but I get what you're saying. I see what you're saying, but I also could see the Patriots here taking Will Campbell. They really had no O-line presence last year, but it is your pick. I'm not going to argue with it.
Wide receiver 1.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think that.
I won't argue with it. We'll lock in Tet. Okay. So now Jacksonville up at pick 5.
Will Campbell.
Do you think that? I was going to say I could see them maybe taking Mason Graham. They don't really...
I meant Mason Graham. My bad. I'm so sorry.
So Will Campbell's sliding a little here. Okay. Now you're up here with pick 7, I believe.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Do you want me to read it to you?
Jacksonville got Will Campbell, right?
Mason Graham.
I'm sorry.
All right, we're good.
And who's this?
Raiders.
I think they're gonna draft a bust.
Do you? I know who I think they're taking.
I don't really have a good idea on this one.
Do you want me to help you here?
Kevin Banks, maybe?
Who?
Banks.
It's interesting. I thought they were gonna... You think they're gonna take Banks? They would take Banks over Will Campbell?
No, I meant Will Campbell.
I could see that, but I could also see them taking Gentry. They Zero
No.
running
No.
back last year, and the Raiders owner
It is a
or
Raiders thing. It is a Raiders thing.
exactly
It
the
is a
Raiders
Raiders. It is
owner
a
or
Raiders thing.
GM son the other week, I forget who it was, said
And now Pete Carroll's now the coach. I mean, kind of Genty plays a little like Marshawn.
you could see it.
I
They
can see that.
they got him.
I can.
So who are we locking in here? Genty or Will Campbell? Your pick.
I'll do Genty.
You will go Genty? Okay. So
Yeah,
now we
first
have the
game,
Jets. I think the Jets now will take Will Campbell.
It's gonna become a bust, so it doesn't matter.
Okay. Pick 8. Your pick. You know who I think goes here. I was yelling about him last night, but Patriots. Pick 8.
Patriots have 8-4.
Or not Patriots, sorry. Panthers pick 8.
Panthers.
They do have a strong need, keep in mind, for edge rushers and cornerbacks.
I don't think they're gonna get Will Johnson. I don't think it's gonna happen.
Okay.
I really could see the guy from Georgia.
Georgia, Jalen Walker.
Yes. I think
I could see that. I also could see from A&M, Shamar Stewart. I was watching the Senior Bowl and all the practices. He looked clearly one of the best players on the
All right.
field.
Alright, you can take this pick.
No. It's your pick. We'll put in Jalen Walker.
Yeah.
So pick
Alright.
9. Now the Saints. I think this is where Shador Sanders goes.
Shador.
And yeah, fits perfectly in New Orleans. You just plop him right in. He's got some
Perfect.
pieces around him to already work with. He has Olave, Kamara. Kamara's aging, but he still is there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So now we have for our final pick. Unless you want to keep
Well,
going,
let's go up to the Dolphin draft.
we'll go up
pick.
to. How about we just go up
13.
to pick 15? We'll just do first 15.
Alright, fine.
All right. So now we have Chicago. This is your
They're
pick.
definitely not getting a corner. Definitely not getting a corner.
Mhm.
They're not getting Johnson.
I'm gonna give you a little tip. I think they're gonna go O line.
Yeah, I think they need
tried to
O-line.
upgrade it. So do you want to go? How do you say
I think
his name?
O-line.
Armand I don't know how to say his name from Missouri.
Oh, that guy?
He's
Yeah.
still there, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
San Fran, my pick. I think they're gonna go. And by the way, this mock draft we're doing.
Oh my.
This mock draft we're doing without any traits. I think San Fran will probably. I know you don't want me to say Malachi Starks. I'm not going to say him. Don't worry. I think
No.
I think San Fran will probably take here one of either Will Johnson. Yeah, I think they're gonna probably take Will Johnson.
You said that because of my reaction. Alright, fine.
No, they
Fine.
lost their number 1 corner. They don't have anyone, so I think they're gonna go Will Johnson.
Alright, fine.
All right. Dallas is up here, pick 12.
Jerry might just trade the pick, honestly.
But we're doing this without any trades because we can't predict it. So
Alright,
we'll do this without trades.
they kind of need a guard.
A guard?
I think they're gonna get an O-line here.
Okay.
Since Zach.
Do you want me to read you some of the
Yeah, sure.
linemen still here?
Yeah.
Why is it not of? Okay, it says Calvin Banks, but I feel like he's a tackle.
I think Banks is gonna go to the Cowboys.
Do you think Calvin Banks out of Texas?
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect fit.
All right. Well, you know who this ends up being now? Pick 13. Do you want to take pick 13? I think you're gonna take Jahade Barron, to be honest, from Texas corner.
Yeah.
Who do you want me to just put in Malachi Starks? Would that make you happy?
Yes.
Okay, he's gonna go to the Eagles, but we'll put in Malachi Starks. Pick 14. I think this is locked to be, if he's there, Tyler Warren to the Colts. Try to get Anthony Richardson, your favorite Anthony Richardson, a safety blanket, which he's needed these past couple of years. Try to help him prevent some concussions. All right, and then our final
You're giving me PTSD.
final pick. You may not agree with it. I think it's Shamar Stewart to the Falcons.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Or Shamar Stewart. I'll tell you the top 3. Shamar
I
Stewart.
feel like you're confident in that pick, and I trust you. I like that.
All right, we'll
I like
lock
that.
in Shamar Stewart. So I'll read you our top 15. Round 1, pick 1. We have Cam Ward to the Titans. round 1, pick 2 to the Cleveland Browns. We have Abdul Carter out of Penn State. To the Giants at pick 3, we have Travis Hunter. And then we have T-Mac from Arizona to the Patriots at pick 4. Mason Graham from Michigan to the Jags at pick 5. Genty, pick 6 to the Raiders. Will Campbell to the Jets at pick 7. Walker out of Georgia to pick from Walker from Georgia, pick 8, going to the Panthers. Shador at pick 9 to the Saints. How do I say his name? Membo from Missouri to the Bears at pick 10. Will Johnson at pick 11. Kelvin Banks to the Cowboys at pick 12. Malachi Starks at pick 13. Tyler Warren at pick 14 to the Colts. And Shamar Stewart to round out our top 15. Alright, so we've done a mock draft for this year. But while we're on...
So, since we're at the topic with drafts, we're going to do the 2024 redraft.
Yeah.
Top 10 pick?
Top 10, top 15, your choice. We'll see how we feel when we get to
top 10.
Okay.
Top 10.
Pick the 1-1 to the Bears. Who do you...
So, Chicago obviously drafted Caleb Williams.
Yep.
I think it's going to be, if they redraft, it's going to be Jaden Daniels.
Agreed, yeah. I think you could make an argument still for Caleb Williams, but I think...
Yes, you could.
I think you
could.
could. I think
You
Jaden...
really could.
Yeah. I think Jaden Daniels is too good of a rookie season to pass up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Second pick, Washington.
Yep, I think they drafted Daniels. I think you just flip it, and now it's Caleb Williams.
Yep.
Now pick 3 to the Patriots. This is an interesting one. They took Drake May. However, I think that Drake May got kind of outshined by Bo Nix this year. But here's the thought.
No.
Bo Nix is old already. Like, he's like 25, I think. 24.
No,
So
I'm sorry.
Okay, so who do you want?
I think it's by far meh.
Drake May still? Okay.
Yeah.
So we have a quarterback top 3. Pick 4.
I think Arizona's Neighbors, but
Neighbors.
Harrison is
Over
as
Marv?
good.
So you want to go Neighbors? Okay.
Yeah, Neighbors.
Chargers pick 5. I think
Joe
you stick with Joe Alt here. Yeah. All right. Now I think Giants take Marvin. Yeah.
Marvin.
Tennessee. I could see.
Honestly, draft probably Bo Nix.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Or you could see J.J. McCarthy, but
or Brian Thomas, or you can get Jared Verse, Cooper DeJean,
Quinion Mitchell.
You get Quinion Mitchell.
What do they need? What's their positions in need? Let's look. They do need an edge rusher. Tennessee could throw in an edge rusher here. They could go Dallas Turner. Maybe could be an interesting guy, but I think this is too early for him.
I don't like that.
I kind of like. I think they go Bo Nix here.
Okay.
Right? Do you agree?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
All right, Falcons. I think you scratch the whole. Oh,
Brock Bowers.
by the way, Tennessee took J.C. Latham, correct?
Yeah.
All right, we didn't say that. Falcons. I think you scrap the whole
Brock
Michael
Bowers.
Penix thing, and I was gonna say, bro. No, actually, you don't. I don't think they would. I think they would go defense. Get our first. I think you could see one of either.
I think Quinion Mitchell or
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Quinion. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So Quinion Mitchell, first defensive player off the board. Now with
Chicago
pick 9.
Honestly, I think it's gonna be Brock Bowers.
Okay, Brock. So you think they're gonna bench Cole Kmet?
Trade him. I mean, Brock Bowers was a top 3 tight end this year.
True. Okay, so the original pick here was Roma Dunze, but we're gonna say Brock. And
the Jets
at pick 10.
Probably. Who did they draft?
They drafted Oli Fashanu.
Ugh.
So I think you maybe go. JJ's still here, right? But you do with Rodgers. I think maybe here.
I think they go DeJean.
Actually, we're forgetting that someone.
Brian Thomas.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. So do we want to go Brian Thomas?
Wait, hold on. Are we talking Devontae Adams on the Jets? Or are we talking
I say
Garrett
we don't. I don't think he's on the Jets because it's at the say we're doing it at the start of last year. He wouldn't be on the Jets at that time. So then they get Brian Thomas. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
So that's our top 10. Do you want to go top 15?
Yeah, sure. We can go
Alright.
Dolphins.
So now we got Vikings. They did go J.J. McCarthy. They
I
could.
think they get Jared Verse
Jared
or
Verse,
DeGene McCarthy.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. They could
I like-
just. They could just
Well,
stick with the
hold on.
pick.
Sam Darnold.
Who?
Are we talking
Well,
like Sam Darnold?
didn't we say we just said we're doing. Oh, that is true.
Alright.
They did have Sam Darnold. So I think knowing what they know now. We'll say this: it's starting at the beginning of last year, but you know kind of how everyone's gonna play this year.
I think it's Verse.
Verse,
I don't-
okay. So I don't know.
Denver, McCarthy.
JJ instead. All right. So Bo Nix isn't there, so they go next best QB.
Las Vegas,
Vegas. Oh God.
DeGene.
Coop.
Coop.
Yep. Okay.
DeGene.
I like that. 14 Saints.
Honestly, you might hate this one. You really might hate this one.
Let me guess. Chop
We're-
Robinson.
No, Lane McConkey.
Lad. I don't mind
Lad.
that. You like Lad over a
I like Lad.
Xavier Worthy
Chop.
or
I like Chop. I mean,
Chop?
Chop
We
is-
could go Chop. I don't mind that pick here.
I really like Chop. I mean,
All right, so we're at the Colts here. Who do you feel? I mean, we still have some good alignment. We still have Olu on the board. J.C. Latham, Talisay Fuga. He's still on the board. I mean, still got some good O-line. Got some.
yeah.
So we could go there. Have Lad still on the board.
Honestly, I like Nate Wiggins.
Do you? Okay.
He's a dog.
Yeah. All right. So that's our top 15. I will read it off to you, and I will say the player we took and the original pick, and then do you want to give
Yeah.
a little reason on why we took the player?
Nah.
No. Okay. So we took pick 1, Jaden Daniels. Original pick was Caleb Williams, but okay. Pick 1-2 is Caleb Williams. Original pick Jaden Daniels. The 1-3 Drake May. Original pick Drake May. 1-4 Malik Neighbors. Original pick Marvin Harrison. 1-5 Joe Alt. Original pick Joe Alt. York took Marvin Harrison. The original pick was Malik Neighbors. 1-7 was Bo Nix. The original pick was J.C. Latham. Pick 8 Falcons took Quinion Mitchell. Original pick Michael Penix. 1-9 Bears take Brock Bowers. Original pick Roman Dunze. 1-10 Jets go Brian Thomas Jr. Original pick Olu Fashanu. Pick 11 Vikings take Jared Verse. Pick 12 Denver takes J.J. McCarthy. Original pick was Bo Nix. And original pick for the Vikings was J.J. McCarthy, by the way. Las Vegas takes Cooper DeJean. Who is their pick? Brock Bowers.
Yeah.
Pick 14, Chop Robinson. The Saints took Telus Fanga. I don't know how to say his name. And to
Yeah.
seal it off, Colts original pick, Latuai Latu from UCLA. And we have them taking Nate Wiggins. So
Nate Wiggins.
that is all we have for you guys today. Thank you for tuning in to the first episode of The Turnover. As always, I'm Simon Leckman.
I'm Ethan Welt. And you're watching
The Turnover.